this experience, this process is the catalyst that makes you ask questions you probably haven't asked, makes you see things from a new point of view, shifts your paradigm, and makes you change the direction of your future. It is absolutely humongous. It's so major. Question for this week is, how can I pre-frame the discovery process in the best possible way so people want to get started with it right away? The way I pre-frame it right now is this. The masterclass takes about 45 minutes and gives you a full overview of what this opportunity is about. It's really just the first stepping stone. So the masterclass is meant to help you feel into the general vibe of this opportunity and see if this aligns with where you want to go. If it resonates with you, you'll then unlock access to our discovery process, an online platform with 6 short modules that take you deeper into the specifics of how this business model works. So in the platform, you will get all the behind the scenes details that you actually need to make an informed decision about whether this is the right path for you. But people still ask so many questions and take so long before deciding to join the discovery process, and many end up not even taking the step at all. So how can I improve this part of my process? All right. Amazing. So for those of you that are watching right now, listening right now, and you're a guest as well, just let me know if this question from Henrietta is valuable to you if we dive into this. Put a yes in the chat if this is something you want to learn about, you want to improve upon, and also take this coaching and apply it yourself. So you see how right away here, the power of this mentorship and coaching is that you might not even have a question, or you're not sure what to ask or how to ask or whatever, but Henrietta asked it so nicely, very clearly. And as you listen, you're like, oh man, if I had the answer to that, it could change everything. It could really change the way I build my business. So that's one of the things that is really powerful about the mentorship program. So with that being said, let's dive right into it. So I have a technique that I'm going to share with you that you can use with your leads when you're in conversation, in DMs, on the phone, even in your relationships with your partner, your parents, your friends, just in general, communication. And it's this idea that we need to read between the lines. You probably heard people say this before, like read between the lines, right? And most likely you don't really know what that means. And what I do is I have this thing in my mind where I'm looking at what you're saying, asking, whatever, and I'm trying to look at the specific word choices and also where I want to essentially, in my mind, I think kind of like a computer, right? Like we all use technology these days. So it's like your question is a folder and I'm looking at the words and I want to double click on a part of the question to go deeper into the folder and then double click again and double click again. So I want to basically go all the way as deep as I can in the folder to understand what is really going on and where we can make the adjustment that may not actually be what you're asking me. And sometimes it is, and sometimes it's a very direct answer to the question. And other times it's actually more like, why are you saying it like that? Where is this really coming from? See what I'm getting at? So in this thing, the very first thing that popped into my mind was your understanding of a pre-frame, I think, should shift to this. What you're doing right now is you are being very clear with your explanation. So it's the difference between features and benefits of a product. Nobody gives a crap about the features. They just want to know what the benefit is in their life. And so there's a technique around even Enagic or Kangen Water or online business or leverage or freedom. These are all like features of what we do. But the benefit is the result you get to experience once you are using the feature day to day. So like, for example, if you drink Kangen Water, right, you can get into the acidity level and the pH and all this technical scientific stuff, and people might look at you eyes glazed over like, I kind of get it, but I don't really know what you're talking about. And I don't know what that means for me. I don't know if that's going to add value to my life. It just sounds like a bunch of mumbo jumbo scientific, like cool stuff, I guess. But is it going to make me feel good? Am I going to sleep better? Am I going to have better sex? Like, what is it going to do for me? You know, like there's no context. It's just kind of a bunch of blah, blah, blah. So what we want to do is we want to actually sell them on the outcome that they're going to experience. And then when they're like, how do I get that outcome? Then we pull it back and go, the machine, because of the hydration, superior hydration goes into the cells. So if we give the details or quote unquote the explanation after, then now they already want it because we sold them on the outcome. So back to your pre-framing over here. You're going into so much specifics But I think you need to take all of that and put it on the shelf and truly sell them on the outcome they will have, which is only possible if they go through this masterclass. So your masterclass is how long? 45 minutes?
Yeah, the masterclass is 45 minutes.
Okay, so you need to first of all start this with a question. So when you're talking with them right before you would send this pre-frame, what has happened right before that? What was the conversation? Are you asking them a bunch of questions? Are they asking you questions? How does that conversation typically go before you would say blah, 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 the big paragraph that you gave me?
Yeah, so basically I have a DM it, so people like DM me a keyword, and then basically I ask them to just generally share with me like why they want to start an online business, or have like their overall why. And I also ask just kind of like what their biggest day-to-day like challenge in a day-to-day life is. So I really understand like their biggest pain points. And then from there, I ask them if it's okay if I send a voice note with the following steps. And then I send like a voice note explaining that I have a masterclass that like explains how they can actually make money online. And then I asked if they're available until tonight to like watch the masterclass. Then I send the masterclass, and then afterwards I'm like in between sending the masterclass and then them starting the discovery process. That's kind of like where my gap is at the moment.
Okay, beautiful. So, in your recipe, what you just explained to me, it would be like a recipe for success with the ingredients, and you're missing a couple ingredients to make your recipe delicious, right? So, you have some of them, but there's a couple little things we got to change. So, now I want to use yourself as a potential prospect, and you're going to answer these questions for me. And then I'm going to take this process and literally say it to you as if I'm you in the DMs. Okay. I'm going to give you an example. So they send you a DM with the keyword. And then the first thing that you say is, hey, what's going on in your life right now that has you wanting to start an online business? Something along those lines. Am I right? Okay.
Yeah.
So now answer the question. So what's going on in your life right now? Pretend that you were before you started Enagic, kind of like where you were at in your life. Answer the question from there.
Yeah, so basically, I don't want to work in the traditional work routines. I don't want to be stuck in an office. Like, I want to be able to actually like be outdoors and travel and explore, and at the same time like make money with like an impactful, meaningful job.
Mm-hmm.
And I just didn't have the knowledge back then on how I could actually do that, because I didn't want to like I saw there were like travel influencers or people with their own business ID, but I didn't have my own business ID and I didn't want to be a travel influencer. So I was just kind of like looking for the right opportunity where I could build a career outside of an office.
Okay. Beautiful. Now, what was the next question you asked them after this?
Their greatest day-to-day challenge at the moment. So for me, that would just be like that I'm like low on energy, that I'm just like feeling really stuck and unfulfilled without like a plan in my life, and that I just like really need to have that feeling again, like I know what I'm doing and that I have a plan for my future.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Then what's the next thing that you say?
Yeah, and then after that, just ask if it's okay if I send them a voice note, like explaining the next step, and then I explain them that I have the master class and that
Okay,
in
so
after
stop right
class.
here. So this is where the recipe's busted right here. Okay. So when you're asking those initial couple of questions, what you're doing is you're gathering intelligence. I want you to think of yourself as like a secret operative, okay? And you're gathering all the intelligence around a case. And if you've ever watched these kind of crime movies where they're undercover and there's like a, drug dealer boss and whatever, you'll always notice that they cannot try to arrest this person until they have evidence and proof and catch them in the act, or they'll probably get off some sneaky way and like have a good lawyer or whatever, right? So you'll always notice like they're getting impatient in these movies, like, we gotta bust them, man, today's the day. And then like someone's like, no, 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 we're not ready, we need more intelligence and we got to get more proof. You know what I'm talking about in these movies, right? It's pretty much every movie like that. And so what you're doing is you're gathering intelligence and you're looking for these very specific things that they're sharing with you, and it's like an onion. Okay. So onion has layers. What they tell you first is like the outside of the onion, the useless part. You got to cut that shit off. You're not going to eat it. Right. So basically they're only telling you the surface level thing. But what we do is we get excited because we're like, oh, that's perfect, because we know that our business and our company and our opportunity can solve that thing for them. But the problem is that their emotional pain attached to that is like a 1 out of 10, because it's too surface level. It's very like, it would be nice, but if I don't have it, it's okay. If we go deeper to level 2, now the pain is like 3 or 4. And we go deeper again, it's now 5 or 6. We go deeper again, it's now 8 or 9. We want to get the pain so deep that they can't stand the idea or the thought of knowingly continuing whatever path they're on, job that they have, income that they earn, lifestyle, calendar, schedule, this like layered approach to like essentially the life that they're living. They cannot stand the thought of continuing that path knowing they just had this conversation with you because you went deep enough for it to really hurt. But if we like skip over this part and go right to what you're doing, technically you're doing the right steps, but it's not deep enough to make them really desire to watch the web class. This is making sense. So when you're telling me all those things that you mentioned before, my job before I get to the web class, before I tell you the process and the steps and how long it is and everything you wrote in your description, I'm going to go, that's amazing. Thank you for sharing that. Let me ask you a little bit more of a question. What happens if you don't make a change and you continue on this exact same path 5 years from today? So now all the things they said, I'm not happy in my job, I'm unfulfilled, I don't have all the stuff you said, right? The pain points. Now you're going to compound that in their imagination for 5 more years. Then what's going to happen is the next time that they respond to you, they're going to be like, oh man, I can't even imagine. Now it's starting to hurt because they're like 5 more years of this shit. Make sense what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
So that's what you want to do. You want to take your time a little bit longer in that initial conversation before you get to the web class. Then what you want to do is take all these specific details and you want to say something along the lines of like, what's best case scenario if you found an opportunity that allowed you to have location freedom, time freedom, and financial freedom, doing something that fills your cup with purpose? What's the best case scenario that can happen for you if you were to do that? Now they're going to start to dream, right? They go from this negative place, pain, to like the pleasure of winning and succeeding. So they start to dream big. And then afterwards, when you get into the description around the web class, be like, let me ask you a question. When was the last time you spent 45 minutes on something that can change every single aspect of your reality and your life today? Let's be real. Every single human being on this planet wastes 45 minutes a day on dumb shit one way or another. Am I right? Minimum. It's usually hours and hours of time wasted each day. But at minimum, we can all agree, even everyone on this call is wasting 45 minutes a day. It might not be 45 minutes all in one shot. It could be 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there, 15 minutes there. But we're all wasting 45 minutes a day on stuff that's not life-changing. Am I right? So when we get to this whole thing of like, oh, it's 45 minutes, right? A lot of our prospects are like, 45 minutes is so long. But it's like what you're discovering in this 45 minutes has the power and potential to change everything for you. This is literally the most important 45 minutes you may have ever come across up until this point of your life. And we all know, those of us in the business, in the community, I mean, I can speak from personal experience. My life from before I committed to Enagic, March 1st, 2013, and my life since is almost like 2 lifetimes. Like I went from poverty, lack, scarcity, lack of purpose, lack of fulfillment, struggling, have no idea how I was going to be a present father, if ever, or how to afford a family, et cetera, to literally feeling like I have the path, I have the plan, I know what I need to do, and I just have to figure it out. But every single day, even the hard days, even the challenging days, even the days that I didn't know what was going on, I was still doing it with purpose. I still knew that it was leading me to where I wanted to go. And 12 years later, that feeling hasn't changed, but so many things have evolved. So we need to really sell them not on the specific details of what they're going to experience in the masterclass itself, because you want to almost leave it like ambiguous a little bit. Like when you watch a movie trailer, they don't tell you every single part about the movie. They give you a little sizzle and then it catches your curiosity and then then you're like, let me watch the movie. And you know that those trailers are like a mashup of the movie and they edit it all in the wrong sequence and stuff. So it's not even how it happens in the movie, right? When you watch it, like happens totally differently, but you ended up investing 2 hours into a movie from a 30-second or 60-second commercial or trailer. So that's kind of how we have to look at the web class. We need to sizzle it, sell them on it, and we don't sell it by telling, we sell it by asking. That's the key. So you have to frame the question in a way that is taking the stuff they've told you so far, the pain points, their goals, why they want to make money online. Like take a few of those key things and then be like, when was the last time you invested 45 minutes on something that could completely change your reality in your future, giving you time, location, financial freedom, and giving you all the things that you just shared with me that you deeply want, and also avoiding the things that you say you don't want, especially in the next 5 to 10 years. When was the last time you've done that? They'll be like, I don't know, never. And be like, you have an opportunity for that right now. You know, when can you watch this 45-minute overview that's going to give you all the information and answer your questions? And you summarize that really, really short. And then what you want to do is you want to have them reach back out to you when they watch the webinar. So it's a micro commitment. And then they're going to say something like, what did you like best about what information you saw? And then they're going to share something with you. Like, that's so exciting. I remember the first time I saw the web class, and now you share your personal experience. I remember the first time I saw that web class. Oh my gosh, I was so excited that I finally found a way to do the things I wanted to do without being a travel influencer and without having a business ID. I was searching for a while, like you mentioned before, right? I was searching for a while and I couldn't wait to dive into the discovery process, which I'm so excited for you to experience. It's truly a game changer and it only takes this much time. So you're selling the sizzle, not the steak. You're selling them on the experience of going through the discovery process because it truly is life-changing. We can all agree if we've been through one. You're like, I've never asked myself these questions. I've never looked at my life this way, right? And you don't realize it when it's happening. A lot of the time, you realize it in hindsight. You're like, man, that was such a powerful process, such a powerful experience. Like my life hasn't been the same since. But if we can sell them on that experience of it's like a gift, like this process for you to go through is truly a gift. Like, do not waste this. Jump in right away. Clear your frickin' schedule. Pull an all-nighter if you have to. Call the frickin' babysitter. Do whatever you got to do. This isn't a game. This is not a joke. This is truly transformative. It is life-changing. Like, I cannot undersell this enough because we know that it's the catalyst. This experience, this process is the catalyst that makes you ask questions you probably haven't asked, makes you see things from a new point of view, shifts your paradigm, and makes you change the direction of your future. It is absolutely humongous. It's so major. And so that's what we need to do is we need to sell them on the fact that 45 minutes gets wasted so carelessly by people every single day. But all of a sudden, when someone's genuinely trying to help you and you're the one who reached out to me from my ad, I didn't reach out to you. You reached out to me. And now you're going to give me some kind of BS like, oh, I'm busy. I don't have the 45. You know what I mean? Like, doesn't it just make you go like shake your head? Like, what are you even saying? I'm not saying it's 45 million years. It's 45 minutes that you wasted earlier today already on something silly. Like, give your head a shake. But instead of selling the features, we got to sell the benefits. So what is the benefits of going through this? And we take the things that they've shared with us and basically say, everything you just shared, you can get the answers to these wishes. It's like a genie in a bottle on this 45-minute web class. And once you get to the end, you're going to either feel it in your intuition that this is something you need to explore and go deeper and discover the whole process behind it, or you're going to say, nope, this isn't for me. And either way is perfectly fine, but don't be the person that got this close to gold, right? The meme when you see the person digging for gold or diamonds and then they turn around right when they're about to strike gold. That's literally every single one of your leads in the DMs that was this freaking close to watching the web class and for whatever reason turned around and walked away. That's how I see it, right? So does this make sense what I'm saying? So technically your description is bang on. It's exactly what happens, but it's not enough for me to give a shit to watch it. Interestingly enough, I would rather watch it by not knowing all those specific details, but really truly feeling your passion and enthusiasm that this is the most important 45 minutes I've probably ever watched in my life. Then I'm going to take you seriously. Make sense? And the thing that a lot of us forget when we are in this opportunity in business for a while is we haven't tapped back into the feeling we personally had when we went through this kind of process. A lot of you have forgotten what you felt. And there's usually a healthy mix of fear, skepticism, doubt, and excitement, right? We're all human. This is perfectly normal. There's nothing wrong with, I don't know, maybe this is a scam or some of those kinds of thoughts. There's nothing wrong with that. But you had more curiosity to find out more information than you had fear to say, no, thanks, I'm not even going to watch or look at it. Am I right? So when we can tap into this and share something along the lines of, look, I remember when I first came across this too, and I wasn't sure if this was going to be for me, but I truly don't know where I would be today if I would have made some sort of excuse and not watched that information. And so I hope that you take this really seriously, because these 45 minutes can absolutely change everything for you the way that it has for me. Do you see how I'm not selling what they're going to see? I'm selling them on the key importance of just freaking watching this information. Then you let the information sift and sort, because you don't care if it's a yes or no. All you care about is that they had enough educated information to decide, yep, for me, no thanks, not for me. That's it. That's all we do in this business. The more people who we can just sell them on watching it, the more results we're going to get just from sheer numbers. But it's our job to just get them to that point and not sell them on what's in it, because that defeats the point of the tool. You become the tool if you try to talk about the tool. You're not the tool. The video is the tool, right? The web class, the training, the whatever it is that you use, because there's a whole bunch of ways to do it. So does this help you how you should approach it? Like, you got to literally understand that your success in this business is dependent on this moment of little bit of conversation about to watch the web class is the most important moment in all of it. The whole freaking process, that's the moment. So you better come with passion. You better come with positivity. You better do your affirmations and jump around and dance when you open your phone and get into this frequency to talk, because you got to be vibing high. Like, you got to literally be, you can't be down. You can't be like, and like stupid business and like nobody replies to me. Like, none of that is acceptable, because people will feel it. So you got to get like super excited. Like, I'm going to open my phone, this magic thing. I don't even know how it works, but it's incredible. It's like a spaceship in my hand. I'm going to open this thing right now. I'm going to put in my code. I'm going to open my social media, and there's going to be real people, okay, with families and children and dreams and goals and health and all the things. And I'm so freaking excited, because I'm just going to tell them that this information is going to change their life right now. You see how different that is? It's like, oh, like, who am I going to find in my DMs today? And all I got to do is get them to watch the dang thing. And I'm going to say whatever I got to say to just get them to do that. Fair?